remember from other places they've been is the downtown. And so with that, as a most important part, I feel that a blossoming is occurring within Topeka, of Topekans toward Topeka. What we see happening is this re-emergence, this rebirth that is going forth and that is happening. It is due to the vision, the leadership of men and women throughout this community, many who are here today, and especially Cody Foster and his partners, who had the foresight, the vision to see, to imagine what we can do. As you may know, that on December 5, 1854, Topeka was founded on the riverbank of the Kansas River, and I assume it was probably the same temperature today. You wonder why they did this December 5. They had poor marketing apparently. That particular day to found the city. But the significant point is our founding father, statues across the street, Cyrus Holiday, said this site is to be one of the most memorable sites, the most beautiful sites where we can locate a city. So we think, what was Cyrus Holiday thinking that day? What was his vision? And what would be his thoughts today if he were amongst us? So with this event that we have, that others will tell more about it specifically, we have a groundbreaking for the first hotel on Kansas Avenue in 25 years. At one time, there were 6 hotels along Kansas Avenue, starting down at the river and coming up to this area. But what it means is that we have a hotel, an attraction, 1 block from the state capitol that will bring individuals, residents, and visitors to downtown. Perhaps as more importantly, this is a significant private investment. And each private investment brings more investment. So we reach a new level. We could say we're taking it up a notch. Kansas Avenue done all this. Now we're here, but we know there are more steps that we will take. And we only say that Cyrus Holiday would be proud. Now I have pleasure to introduce Matt Pavarnik, CEO President of the Chamber.
Mayor, I believe I speak for the entire community when I say I thank you for your leadership of our community and our region. I also want to thank whoever had this event indoors. It's very nice. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Emerson was speaking to a special kind of human, which we refer to, it's one of my favorite kinds of humans, a trailblazer. Cody Foster and his partners are creating a trail with the Cyrus Hotel. The groundbreaking of this hotel is a massive step in creating a vibrant downtown. But we aren't done. I want to challenge you all to be encouraged by the vision and guts of Cody and his team and the Cyrus Hotel project. Follow this trail that he is creating and continue to grow our downtown and our Topeka region. I also want to thank Vince Fry and Downtown Topeka Inc., your board, and our elected leaders for paving the way for projects just like this. I also want to thank in advance Brad Audie with Visit Topeka, his board, and his team for their future marketing of properties like this. As you've heard me say several times, quality of life is economic development. Again, I repeat, quality of life is economic development, and the Chamber and Go Topeka are committed to the future programming of this downtown. I moved here 11 months ago from Tulsa, Oklahoma. In Tulsa, there's a trailblazer, a lot like Cody. His name is Elliot Nelson, and many of you heard from Elliot in 2014 during your expedition trip. He opened his first restaurant, McNelly's Pub, in 2004. And Elliot knew the only way to make his pub successful was to grow the neighborhood around him. He eventually opened 7 more businesses in downtown. Elliot, like Cody, believed in his community and was willing to do what it took to make the community thrive again. Cody, thank you for your visionary leadership. Thank you for your passion for this community. Thank you for the round-the-clock emails and texts with new ideas or visions of how to take Topeka to the next level. Some might say you're obsessed with Topeka. I agree, and I believe it is that kind of healthy obsession breathing new life into this region. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Foster.
So it's inside the no heat. That would have been better. So again, thanks for coming today. We're excited to be starting on this project. We're going to use today as the official groundbreaking, but as you can tell standing in this room, we've actually been doing a fair amount of work already. A lot of you probably didn't see this from the last time, a year ago when we did this, but it was a maze of offices. It had this ugly 10-foot drop ceiling, and as we got in here and demoed a lot of it out, really opened up an amazing space. As I said, we announced this project a year ago, and at the time we literally had a sketch and kind of an idea of what we wanted to do, and announcing it maybe before we were quite ready to, I think led a lot of people to think that we were starting the next day. But the truth was a lot of the heavy lifting was still to be done. And I think as we worked through the plans with Architect One and McPherson Contractors and David Bow and his team, we've really come to this final plan to where we can start the official construction phase. I'll say it hasn't been easy. These buildings have presented some unique challenges. I should have listened to everyone when we started saying there's going to be a lot of setbacks along the way, because once you start tearing walls out and figuring out what you've actually got here, it takes a little bit of work. And I think the challenge for the team has been not only to build a great space, but keep as much of the character of these buildings as we can. One of the things you'll hear us talk a lot about, and David will mention it later, is we want to build a property that's more than a hotel. We really want it to be a community gathering place. We want it to be something that is a source of pride for all of Topeka, but also serves as an anchor for the great things that are going on downtown. And we believe that we've accomplished that. We made a few changes from the original announcement. I think a year ago when a lot of you were here, we talked about having 75 to 80 rooms. We're going to have 109 rooms now. That's probably the biggest change. I think as we started doing some of the space planning, and frankly as we saw some of the excitement around the project, the idea of having more rooms available was a big part of that. The building we're standing in now, we are going to completely restore, so it's in a condition where we can keep it. The other buildings are pretty much all going to come down. As we started doing some of the demo work, what we found is that they were in really bad shape and probably weren't safe to keep up. But we are going to rebuild them to look very similar to what they look like today, so we can keep some of that. As Matt said, and I think others have at times accused me of being optimistic about Topeka's future, but this project's a big reason why. The support that I think we've got from the community and the excitement around it really does indicate to me that Topeka's got a very bright future. And I want to recognize some of the people because, frankly, without this community and the support for this project wouldn't have been possible today. So I'm going to take just a few minutes to recognize a few of those people. I'm going to start off by recognizing a few of the people that are personal to me. First and foremost, my wife Jennifer. It's not fun being married to an entrepreneur. If Matt gets sick of the ideas I have, you should live with her. But you know what? She's always been super supportive of every idea that I have, and that makes a world of difference. And she's also a perfect balance for me. I tend to act first and then try and figure it out after I've started. She's the opposite, so it's good to have her to really challenge me on some of those things. And the thing about Jennifer, she was born and raised here, has lived here her whole life, and I think, like me, wants to make this community the best place it can possibly be for our family and friends. So her support means the world. Second, I'd like to thank Seth Wagner and Don Highland, who really run AIM Strategies with me. I really do spend all my time in Advisors Excel. when I started looking at and thinking about some of these projects and investing downtown and in the community, I knew that I needed someone that I could trust that could really oversee and make sure that these get the attention that they deserve. Seth, who is a lifelong Topekan also, is a good friend of mine since our days together at Washburn. I know everyone knows or has heard the story of me, Dave, and Derek meeting at Washburn, but Seth and I actually were roommates for a year at Washburn also. So as I started looking at some of these, I knew he would be the perfect person to really lead these. And together with Dawn, I'm not exaggerating when I say they've spent thousands of hours really bringing this project to fruition. You can ask any of the people that are involved in this project along the way. Without those two, there's not a chance that this would have happened. Next, I'd like to recognize and thank everyone at U.S. Bank. Mike, Wendy, Misty, Terry have all been great to work with. And I think as a business that's located downtown, their excitement for this project, I think they realize that it has great potential and is one of the things that our community needs. One of the things I've heard all the time from them is how big community banking is at U.S. Bank. And this is a great example of them investing into their local communities. Third, and this goes to the leadership a little bit, you know, all the public officials that have supported this project, both at the city and county level, have made a huge difference. Our hope is that this project will define how private-public partnerships can work going forward. There's multiple incentive programs that we've been able to take advantage of that quite frankly made this project feasible. As I said before, when we announced a year ago, we really had not started doing a lot of the planning there. But even though we have those incentive programs that have made this project feasible, they haven't put any risk on the city or county. What they've done is incentivize us to build a great facility that people want to visit and want to spend their money at. On top of just the incentive programs, I think the leadership in general, I'm a big believer in leadership, and without the leadership that we have in our community right now, not just this hotel project, but everything going on downtown, I don't believe would be possible. So the fourth group, every person that's been involved in this process of bringing this to completion is local, which I think is really cool. Scott, Andrew, and Jacqueline at Architect One, who are literally 10 steps from our front door, have put in just countless hours trying to work through all the challenges that we have found as we've dug through these buildings, put together all the cool things that you're going to see here today. Matt's entire team at McPherson Contractors, can't give Matt as much credit as I would Pat, Brian, and Michael. They've spent a ton of time not only digging through these things, but just making sure that we're going to be able to pull this off within budget. Toby and Aaron from Cyrus, Scott at PKMR have been instrumental as we've worked through a lot of the issues with these buildings. And then finally, Lucky DeFreeze, Art Glassman, Roger Walter have all helped with various legal and planning aspects with this project. You know, it truly takes a team to pull off a project like this. That's one of the things that I've realized. And the team we've assembled is not only local, but super talented, which is pretty neat to be able to keep all that work here in Topeka. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone who believed in this project and what it means for Topeka enough to invest their hard-earned money. Every single investor in this project is local. And their investment, as I've talked to each and every one of them, is as much about helping build our community as it is about the return that they'll receive, although I hope we do both in a really great way for them. I'm going to introduce all of them here in a few minutes when we do the quick groundbreaking pictures. But I'd like to introduce one of the primary investors and just have him share a few thoughts and words. Mike Kiley has become a great friend of mine and someone I know I can always count on. Most of you know him in his role as CEO of Security Benefit. And what he has done as CEO at Security Benefit since he's taken over is truly remarkable. Creating over 500 new jobs, bringing in over $20 billion in new assets. Really, the job he's done there, as great as it is for Security Benefits, a lot more important to the city of Topeka. And in our industry, the Security Benefits story is literally the story of the past decade, what they've been able to accomplish there. But the great thing about Mike, I said he's someone I know I can always count on. When I started talking about this project, he was the first person that said, let me know what we can do to help we're in. They have some deep experience in hotel investments, and we're excited to have them partner on this project. So I'd like to ask Mike to share just a few thoughts on why they invested and why he believes this is important for the future of Topeka.
Thanks, Cody. As the mayor and Matt said, any vital and relevant city has an exciting and attractive downtown. The Cyrus Hotel project, all the pocket parks, and the other initiatives that the mayor laid out over the course of the last year are evidence that Topeka is moving in that direction. But this would not happen if not for having business leaders like Cody and his group who put their time and money back into the community. And security benefit, we couldn't be more in February of the new year. The growth we've had in the course of the last 6-7 years would not have happened without partners like Cody, Derek, David, and Jordan Canfield, but also the environment here in Topeka and the great employees we have that we draw from overall Shawnee County right here in town. We are very excited about what's going on downtown. And if we can together make downtown Topeka a destination for dining, for shopping, for socializing, we will all benefit from that, as will our children. Cody, I salute your leadership, and the rest of the town. We should really get behind this. I can tell you, as security benefit, we will hold the majority of our functions in the years to come right here at the Cyrus Hotel. So thank you all very much.
That's good to hear. You know, one person I didn't think initially, and I wanted to say till now, was David Bow. Many of you got a chance to meet David when we did our first announcement, or if you've been working on this project, you've spent a lot of time with him. You know, David's one of the key reasons I think this project is going to be so successful. He's literally opened hotels all over the world, from London to Chicago, New York to Miami. He currently owns and operates 4 boutique hotels in the Northeast that are not only fan favorites, but garnering all kinds of awards. But it's his work on the Asbury Hotel that I think aligns most closely with what we're trying to do here in Topeka. 2 weeks ago, I was actually traveling for work, and I realized as I was going to kind of Pennsylvania, New Jersey leg of the trip that I was going to be about 20 minutes away from Asbury Park, New Jersey. So I went and stayed at the Asbury Hotel. I wanted to see what it was like. I've actually not been to one of David's properties yet. And I would say I left there a lot more excited about this project and what I think it can do for our community. You know, David oversaw really the build out of the Asbury Hotel, which was the first new hotel in 50 years in Asbury Park. And if you've been to Asbury Park now, it's this cool happening place that 5 to 7 years ago really was a place that everybody avoided. And one of the things is we've worked on this project a lot. David and Kevin have really talked about making this, as I said in the beginning, more than a hotel. We're really making it this community gathering place. And I got to see that firsthand at the Asbury Hotel. When I got there in the early afternoon, there were a bunch of people down working in the lobby. They had this big open lobby. None of them were actually staying at the hotel. They ran there to grab a coffee, catch up on some work. That night when I got back to the hotel, they had an open mic night going. There were probably 100 people down there hanging out at the bar, participating in what was going on there. And everyone I talked to, everywhere I went, just raved about the Asbury Hotel and what it had meant to that community. You know, I say all the time, David's at a point now where he can literally work on any project he wants. You know, at this point in his career, he can be picky. And the fact that he picked Topeka in this project should say a lot to all of us about our potential as a community. And I'd like David to share, in his own words, why he's excited about this project. But I think more importantly, what he's seen in Topeka that makes him want to come work on this. So if you would help me welcome David Bauer.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming today, and thank you, Cody, for inviting me today. It's been a year since we were just next door launching this hotel, and it's been such an exciting and interesting year. I won't say it's been an easy year. There's a lot of challenges, and I think that over the last year, we've really got to the point where we've created and are ready to start building a really incredible hotel operation. I'm a super hotel geek. I'm 32 years in hotels, and as Cody said, all over the world. And to me, the fundamentals of a hotel are what we've been talking about today, which is the community. One of the reasons, and the main reason, as we look at different projects, we have sort of a mantra of interesting projects with interesting people in interesting places. And the first time I came to Topeka, it ticked all of those boxes. I think that there is an absolute, we've seen it over the last year, the desire and the passion for a hotel to be successful here, a new hotel to be successful here, for it to be really part of the community. And the community from a guest point of view and from an employee point of view. What we're going to be building here is really the hub of the community, somewhere where you can come in at any time, night or day, grab a coffee, grab a glass of wine, grab a quick bite, have a 3-course dinner, something that is really embracing to everything around the community. Everywhere I've been in my trips over the last year around the area, I've been completely blown away by the hospitality. And that's the main point of a hotel is really that guest experience. And so I'm really excited that we're going to be not only building something beautiful, something that is incredibly well designed, something that's interesting, but something that will really be able to deliver exceptional hospitality. The hotel will be an ever-changing place. It will, we're standing right now in part of the ballroom where we can have meetings, events, weddings. We've actually got our first wedding booked for October 2018, so we're very excited about that. And that's for somebody who lives in Topeka and who's actually deployed with the US military at the moment. So it's a very special wedding for us as well. But the space the front here will be a space that we can change to First Fridays, pre-function spaces, meetings, retail, art exhibitions, all sorts of different things going on in the hotel all of the time. We will look to partner with as many local people as we possibly can, and whether that's suppliers of food and beverage, whether it's beer, breweries, whether it's local farms, so that we're able to, as we have done very successfully in Asbury Park, is really everybody will rise as this hotel comes up as well. We're also, the soul of a hotel are the people that work in it. And I'm super excited to start our recruitment drive as we go into 2017. We will be hiring over 100 people, full-time and part-time. And who better to show visitors coming into the hotel the best side of Topeka, the people who live here. So our focus is going to be to hiring as many local people as we possibly can. We'll be launching a hospitality school, SALT school, which will start in early 18. And that is a program to train and develop people that have not necessarily been in this industry before, but have a true passion for hospitality and guest experience. And so, to me, our employee experience is as important as our guest experience. And so, as well as being the cornerstone of the community, I really, envisage that we'll be one of the key employers of the town as well. So, just for me, I'm super excited. Thank you again. And I look forward to talking to you all individually and collectively as we go forward. But thank you.
So I realized it wasn't my comments, and someone asked me over there. Our target is to open summer of 2018. We have different opinions on what summer of 2018 means. For me, I thought Memorial Day is, summer of 2018. Matt and his crew tell me that it's more Labor Day. So we're just going to keep booking stuff and moving it up. So we've got October, we're going to keep moving it. Book some stuff in June. What I want to do right now is we're just going to take a couple quick pictures, I guess ceremonial pictures, and what we want to do is take just a quick picture with the investor group, and then after that invite kind of everyone that's been involved in this project along the way, all the people that I just mentioned as we went through this. And I think as David said, it is an exciting time, and it's an exciting opportunity, and I think for Topeka there's a lot of great things there. So I do want to introduce the people that have invested in this project, because like I said, the people, hopefully it does well and they get a good return on their investment, but every single one of them, I think, is invested in this more so because of what they feel like it will mean to the Topeka community. And so I'm going to ask them to come up here. Instead of doing shovels, since as you can see there's no dirt really to dig, too cold to probably break it now, because of the restoration of these buildings, we decided to do some sledgehammers instead. So what I ask them to do is I kind of recognize when I call them up is come over here to the right, and we'll take a quick picture, and then take another one and get everyone out of here. So first, Brent Bowles, who I don't think anyone here doesn't know who Brent is. Brent and Angie are literally two of the biggest believers in Topeka that I know. So a lot of you that know him well know that also. And I have a feeling this probably won't be his last project or their last project that they're working on. Matt McPherson. So Matt has a dual role, not only as the contractor, but also as an investor. And for those of you who know that they're literally one of the best in the Midwest. Eric Bettis and the Bettis family actually couldn't be here. Right? I didn't see him. I don't think he was going to be here. But it's been pretty amazing for those of you who know them to watch what they've been able to do with that family business. I joke all the time that I can't drive a quarter of the mile in this town anymore without seeing a Bettis asphalt truck. Many of you probably see them too. The next few investors I'm going to introduce as a group because we really do have something in common. We work together every day. These are literally some of my best friends, but they're also the people, Dave, Derek, and myself get a lot of credit for Advisors Excel, but a lot of the people that I'm going to bring up here are the ones that have really helped us build this from the ground up. They've literally been with us pretty much since day one and are a big reason for our success. So Matt Newman, Jake Klima, Brad Lindstrom, Brad Johnson, and Sean Sparks, who are some of our earliest employees at Advisors Excel. And then in a related business with Advisors Excel is Jordan Canfield, who's a partner with us in Innovation Design Group, and a lot of you know. Mike Petty, who all of you met already. So we'll take a quick picture with the investors, ask everyone else who's been involved in this that I think to take a picture, and then have a few final thoughts. You're supposed to grab a sledgehammer anyway.
I'm sorry?
Now, if we can just have everyone, I don't care, whoever wants to be in the picture. So there were a lot of people, so we got more sets here. Let me finish with just a few final thoughts, and we'll get out of here while I can still kind of feel my feet. We're good. So just a few final thoughts. First, while we're excited for this step in the process, I do think it's really important as a community that we realize that we haven't accomplished all that much yet downtown. We've accomplished some great things, but I've heard, and sometimes I get the impression that people feel like we've arrived, and I think this is that next step, and there's a long ways to go. Really, we're just getting started. We announced this project over a year ago, and if you think about it, there haven't been a lot of other major announcements about things going on downtown. So as a community, I think we need to continue to work to bring new businesses downtown. We need to continue to talk and market the future that we have downtown. We need to encourage others that are thinking about investing downtown to step up and get going. I think as more projects take shape, we'll build the momentum that we need, and hopefully this is a first step in that momentum. And then finally, there's one final group I'd like to thank. Everyone in the local media has been so supportive of not just this project, but all the positive things that are going on here in Topeka. And each of you in our local media has an amazing opportunity and responsibility to impact our community. And I'm thankful that we have such amazing stewards with our local media. One of the things I've seen is you not only do a great job of holding people accountable, which I think is really important, maybe today more than ever when I look at what's going on, but you still have done a great job of highlighting all the amazing attributes of our city. And I know from talking with many of you over the past few years, you also believe that our city's best days are ahead of us. And I thank you for playing a positive role in Topeka's growth, and ask and hope that you'll continue to promote Topeka's bright future. So, in thanking everyone to come out today, as they came out today, I want to end and conclude by sharing something that I shared at the announcement. And the mayor kind of mentioned it, but it's an excerpt from a letter that Cyrus K. Holliday sent to his wife when he was discussing his vision for Topeka. As he said, I didn't realize it was December 5th, but in 1854, they established the location for what would later become the city of Topeka. And this is what he had to say to his wife in the letter that he wrote her. He said, "I'm now 30 miles above Lawrence on the Kansas River, assisting in starting a new town. We are just about in the central portion of the settled territory, and with perhaps the best landing and the most eligible site for a city in the entire country. So I think that it must be. And in a few years, when civilization by its magic influence shall have transformed this glorious country from what it is now to the brilliant destiny awaiting it, the sun in all his course will visit no land more truly lovely and desirable than this. It sounds like a great vision for our city, and I just thank everyone for being a part of continuing to build upon that vision. So that's it. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you all later. So, go!
Go visit someplace downtown. There's great restaurants, great barbecue right beside it. So thank you.